Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Modest Audiophile channel. I know it's been a long time coming. It's probably been about a month since I've done anything. Life got in the way. A move and just some other things got in the way. But hey, I did do a thing and I'm here to share it with you. So let's go! So, yes, everybody, I did a thing. Like I said in the intro, I went out and I bought a HummingGuru sonic record cleaner. Why did I do that? Well, first off, I paid $499 on Amazon, ordered it, got it 2 days later. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that for the majority of the records, certainly the new records that I've bought over the last 18 months or so, I usually have them sonically cleaned. And I think it's no coincidence that if I really were to think about, and I did this last week, thinking about what are my best sounding records, regardless if they're 33 RPM or 45 RPM, there's no coincidence that my best sounding records as it pertains to soundstage and imaging are the ones that I had sonically cleaned. So I figure this thing will be paying for itself probably in about 1.5 to 2 years, which isn't bad. So what I'll do is I'll show you briefly what this device is. I'll also show you a very quick, I actually cleaned a couple records yesterday that I filmed. I'm not going to bore you to tears with that, but you'll get a sense of what this thing looks like while it's working and how loud it is. Some people online said this thing is loud. It's not that loud. I think literally I did a dB check on it. I'll put the picture in here as well. And I want to say off the top of my head, I think the dB came in around 55 decibels. Not very loud. Not loud at all, to be honest. In fact, I wish it had, the only two drawbacks I have for this thing is I wish it had an alarm that I could hear from the next room. It doesn't. And you'll see that when I poured the water in here, the cover is not the tightest in the world. So user error, a little bit of a spillage, and you'll see that as well. Outside of that, I've only cleaned maybe about 24 records so far. Really like the results and the simplicity of this. So let's just go a quick down and dirty on what this thing is, and then I'll get you to see what the operation looks like and get you out of here in no time, all right? So, dust cover, boom. Pull that off and it hides the cables that come with it, power cables, okay? So, and you'll see this in the video here in a second, but it's a top loader. You know, you put the record right in there. On the side, you've got the reservoir tank with the filter already in there right now. Pour the water in here. For a 12-inch record, you're pouring 350 milliliters of water. If you want to do a 7-inch record, you're going to put in 400 milliliters of water. You put that in, you literally pour it in here, you put this back in, and then on this side, you've got the controls. You can hit clean twice. Well, if you hit clean once, it does a 2-minute cycle of cleaning cycle. I would do that, say, on a brand new record coming out of the plastic wrap. For anything else, an older record, you can hit the clean button twice and it will give you a 5-minute cleaning cycle in the water solution. And on the drying solution, you can either do a 5-minute or a 10-minute, and that is based on this toggle switch over here, okay? That's really it. Air flows in through here when it does the air drying. So you can set this up from a manual perspective or an automatic. From what I understand on the automatic cycle, which I haven't used yet, an automatic cycle is going to be a 2-minute wash and a 5-minute dry. And you don't have to go and push any buttons outside of just hitting it from the automatic cycle. All right, another thing I wanted to mention real quick before we go down to the other part of the video. So this literally, the record literally sits in here on 2 different wheels, okay? The record, edges of the record sit down in this crevice where the solution is, and one of the wheels is powered, from what I understand, and that will spin the record ever so slowly through the solution or the drying. Now, what else was in the box is they provided 4 more wheels. So that's great. I guess there was a, over time they noticed that through wear and tear that the wheels would loosen up and it wouldn't get the spin. Anyway, it provided you with all those fixes up front in here, and it also gives you 5 more filters for the air. So I really couldn't ask for more. I think that's great. Essentially they took what was not working out there in their user community and they shipped the new ones with the fixes already there. I was reading, or rather I was watching some older YouTube reviews on this thing from maybe 18 months, 2 years ago, and they had to contact the manufacturer and they shipped them out. So now they include them as part of the packaging. I ordered it on Amazon. Again, I'll put the price here, $4.99, and I got it 3 days later. So I was really happy about that. All right, so 6.6 pounds, very, very, very light. And again, you could put the power cables up on top, put the dust cover back, and this thing will slide in to the same record cabinet that you're using. If that's how you do want to store it, you can store it right in the same record record furniture or whatever you're using. Again, one-handed, 6.6 pounds, really easy. So that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoy this very brief video on watching this thing run. I'll get you in and out of here hopefully in no more than 10-15 minutes, and be back at it with another video soon. So thank you so much for your patience, everybody. I know it's been a month. Again, life just got in the way and I wasn't able to do any of these videos. So if you do watch this, you'll see a sneak peek on what I'll be reviewing next as far as an album goes. That's it. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. Take care. Bye. One more thing I forgot to mention. I did purchase this with it. It's called the HummingGuru small bottle. You can see that there. And what this is, I bought it for $39.99. Again, with modest Audiophile funding. This is an anti-static vinyl record cleaning agent. Highly improves ultrasonic record cleaning effectiveness and drying time. And yes, so I'm only doing 12-inch records on here. It's 350 milliliters of water. We already covered that. I'll put 2 to 3 drops in here. And for, say, humid climates, it could take a little bit more to dry. So instead of going to the 5-minute drying cycle, you go to a 10-minute drying cycle. If you put this in, again, 2 to 3 drops, not a lot, it will improve the drying time. So anyway, based on all the recommendations I found, that's what I did. And I'll put a link to here as well. Again, I'm not associated with this whatsoever. I just thought I'd pass around the good news. That's it. Bye. Again, so for today's purposes, we're going to put in this used record I picked up about a couple months ago. I've listened to it a couple times after some surface wet cleaning. Sounds really good. And soundstage is really good. Perhaps I'll do a review on this thing here shortly after I clean it and give it another listen after this thing is sonically clean. So, put this down for now. We'll try and do this in real time. This is about as easy as you can think. So for a 12-inch record, let's take the dust cover off. And I'll try to film this. Well, take the dust cover off, pull this out, which is the reservoir, and it's got the filter in here. I've gone through 4 records clean so far. Alright, so I'm going to have to fill this to about approximately 350 milliliters of distilled water, and that will get you to the 12-inch record line. So let's fill this up to where it's supposed to be. And again, it's approximately 350 milliliters. Put this down. Alright, now, one of the things I did purchase with it is this it's called the small bottle. And this is ultrasonic vinyl record cleaning agent. Essentially, it's a takes the static away. Add 2 to 3 drops per 400 milliliters of water for this particular unit. So that's what I'll do. 2 to 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Helps it drying as well, from what I understand on some of the other reviews, especially if you're in a humid, summertime. It's a little bit humid, and this agent will help to A, reduce static, and then B, I think barely as importantly, if not more importantly, will help it dry a little bit more efficiently, a little bit quicker as well. So, literally, I'm going to pour this in right into the center here. Just like that. And mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. So you got to be a little bit tighter on that, everybody. All right. So that's really my only gripe of this thing, is that cover is very loose. That cover is very loose. And sometimes when you're trying to film, you'll just make a mess. So wipe all this up. Very light, as you can see. And it does come with a tool that will let you know how much water you've got in. And it's right there where it's supposed to be. You get to see a real world accident here. All right, now, so we'll do that. Let's get the record back. So this record's in pretty good shape. You really can't tell too much from this, but it's got a little bit of surface grime on it. It's got fingerprint. Now this cleaner is not going to take off fingerprints, but what it will do is get into the grooves and take out any of the dirt and the grime and the dust from there. So anyway, let's get this thing started. You just put it in right here, lay it right in the wheels, literally turn it on. Now for 5 minutes, rather for 2 minutes or for 5 minutes, you can clean this. So this is a used record. I'm going to hit this twice for 5 minutes of cleaning and hit this. That's it. All right, 5 minutes went by pretty darn quick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the dry. So here is that switch. It will take you from 10 minutes of drying time to 5 minutes. Right now it's on the right for 10 minutes. Slide this back over. Hit the dry. Oops. Hit the dry. Now you're going to see the water get put back into the reservoir to be used. You can use it again. I washed, like I said, I washed, 4 records yesterday on a tank, and then it got late, so I just poured the rest out, and you saw me refill it this morning, or rather this morning, about 15 minutes ago. Actually about 5 minutes ago, right? All right, so that's going to be, then it's going to kick into the dry. And that'll go for 10 minutes, and this thing will look like a brand new record. All right, come back after this is done. And that's it. That was a quick 10 minutes. Blue light says it's done. Turn that off. Pull this out. Not bad. I don't know if you can see that. But we will have to give Sly a spin on the turntable and see how it comes out. Looking forward to this. All right.